Interesting. Okay, Beth, I think you're live.
Good morning. It is Beth Wright here with our Hatha yoga class this morning. I'm here in very snowy New York State, and let's go ahead and begin. So come into your seated easy pose, and your hips can be elevated on a cushion or on the floor, whatever feels best. And let's bring our palms together at our heart center in prayer position, and we'll just open the class with one Om, breathing in through our nose all the way into our belly. And then let's begin by inhaling. And consciously connect with your higher self just by setting your intention to do so. And connect with your I am presence. And then we connect with the great central sun. And we connect with the heart of Mother Earth. And set our intention for our practice this morning. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. And then go ahead and inhale both palms up to sky. Reach up through both arms and your palms so that your spine lengthens. With your sits bones firmly planted, you can feel the length of the spine. And then now we're going to exhale the palms back down the center line, right to our heart. And again, inhale, reach up. Lengthen the spine up, stretch. Reach with the fingertips. And then exhale right down the center line. Air comes all the way out. And last time, inhale up. Reach, 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 reach. And now we're going to exhale by twisting to the right. Right arm comes behind, left hand to the right knee. Spine stays nice and long and lifted. And breathe here as you twist. 3 deep breaths. And then reach the palms back up to center, up to sky. Lift through the chest, the abdomen, everything. And then as you exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to the left knee, left arm behind you. Twist and breathe. 3 deep breaths here. And then come back to center. And now we're going to inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze them up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then as we exhale, we're just going to go and relax the shoulders down. Again, inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Breath comes all the way in. And then release through the mouth, just letting the shoulders go. One more time. Inhale up. Letting go. Good. And just shake the shoulders out here. And now just remove anything that you're sitting on so that you're flat on the mat. Your sits bones are connected to the mat. And bring your legs out in front, your feet out in front. And we're going to do a reverse tabletop. So your feet are hip width apart. and your arms come behind you. Underneath your shoulders, your hands are pointing forward. And we're going to go ahead and lift the hips up. So we're in our reverse table. Your head can stay lifted or you can drop it back if you have no neck injuries. And then we're going to do some rapid inhalation and exhalation through the nose, humping the navel. So this is breath of fire in reverse table. And now a nice deep inhalation in through the nose. Lower your seat down as you exhale through your mouth. Good. And then let's bring both legs out in front of us on the mat. Just shake your legs out. And we're going to do a forward fold early on. So I do suggest that you get a towel or a blanket, something to roll it up and place it underneath your knees. This protects the low back in this pose. Okay, once you've got your towel or blanket underneath, then just remove the flesh with your sits bones. Feel that strong root there. And then we're going to lift our chest up, lift the head, lengthen through the spine, and then slowly begin to lean forward out over the legs. And you're going to let the back round. Keep the chest lifted here and keep your feet flexed as you just move right from the hip crease over the legs. Hands can come wherever they come, and just breathe into the low back. We'll do 6 deep breaths right into the low back, in and out through our nose. And as you're breathing, continue to slowly draw the torso out over the legs, the heart forward. Last breath here. Good. And then coming back up to seated. And remove the towel or blanket from underneath you. And we're going to cross at the ankles here. Roll out onto all fours into tabletop. And then from here, let's do a little cat-cow. Warm up the spine. Inhale, lifting up. Sits bones spread wide. Pressing into the knees a little bit. Top of the breath, exhale, press the heart up. Chin and tailbone tuck under. And then let's flow between the two. Good. Come back to a neutral spine. All right, from tabletop, let's lengthen the right leg out behind us. So it's parallel to the floor. And now we're going to draw the right knee toward the nose. So your whole back rounds, and then lift the right leg up. Gaze turns forward. So a few more of these. Nose to knee and then lift. Using the breath. And one more. And then lower the right knee down and let's do the other side. Left knee toward the nose. Inhaling. Exhale. Lift the leg up and your gaze comes forward. Inhale, nose to knee. Exhale. Keep going with the breath. And last one. And then lower the left knee down. And come onto your forearms here. So your hips are over your knees and your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Your hands come together in front of you. From here, we're going to do a forearm downward dog. So tuck the toes under and then go ahead and lift the hips. You can stay up on your toes here. Your shoulders are going to be over your elbows so you have a nice support. And we're just going to hold it here. If you'd like to try bringing your heels down one at a time, it's a lot shorter and more difficult of a stance than downward dog. So if you want to just stay lifted on your toes, you're going to start to feel a little heat in your shoulders here. Obviously, you don't want to do this if you have any shoulder injuries. Just a couple more breaths. Good, and then go ahead and drop your knees down. Bring your knees and your legs together, and then sit back on your heels, reaching your seat for your heels and your forehead on the mat, and bring your hands by your feet in child's pose. Reach your arms long on the mat, and then let's slide all the way onto our bellies. And again, we'll come into onto our forearms. So we're in Sphinx pose. This time with your forearms, the elbows are underneath the shoulders, but the middle finger is pointing directly forward, and you want to press your wrists down into the mat. Okay, gaze is forward, and press your pubic bone down into the mat. Press your forearms down to the mat, and stay lifted through your whole upper body, and draw the heart forward. So the neck is long, you're lifted in the shoulders, you're pressing into the hands, wrists, and forearms and elbows and pubic bone. Legs are straight, you can point the toes, and now you really can just feel the heart moving forward. Sphinx pose. Good. And now relax. And we're going to come all the way down with our arms down alongside the body, palms facing down. Either the chin or the forehead is on the mat. And when you're ready, let's lift the right leg up. Hips stay down. And your focus is just on lifting the leg with as little tension in the rest of your body as possible. So breathe into that lift. Two more breaths here. And then release the right leg down and lift the left leg up. So it's working the whole back of the leg and the glute area. And your left hip is down on the mat, just breathing into it. Relaxing shoulders, neck, head, chest. Good. Release the left leg down. And now just rock your hips back and forth. You can turn your head to one side as you do that. Rock those hips out. Good. And now bring the right arm out to the side, palm facing down. It's in a T position, so it's directly out to the side. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder, elbows into the body, and then bend through the left knee, the left leg, and roll open to the left so that your left foot steps behind you. And here you can reach the left arm back, keeping the head and neck relaxed as you breathe into the chest and shoulders. So this is a beautiful stretch for the front of the right shoulder. And just breathe into it as you can feel it opening. And this left arm, it can be down on the mat in front of you or up on your hip or all the way extended back to increase the stretch. All right, and now come back onto the stomach, slowly rolling. And let's do the other side. Left arm out to the side, palm facing down. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Left side of the face is on the mat. Bend through the right knee and roll it open. Stepping that right foot back and then reach the right arm back or wherever you want to work with the stretch with the right arm. And let's just breathe here as we relax the shoulder. Let go of any tension from the area we're stretching. Good, and go ahead and roll back onto your belly nice and slow. Arms come down alongside the body. Chin is on the mat. And now we're going to lift everything up. Legs, arms, chest, and reach back with your arms. Breathe right into the belly as you stay lifted in this pose. And then release down, make a pillow with your hands, turn your head to one side, and rock out the hips. So all of this work on the belly strengthens the muscles in the back of the body. And coming into Cobra now. So we're going to do a couple different versions of Cobra. First version, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide. And feet, legs are hip width apart. Elbows are into the body. So baby cobra, just lift your chest as much as you can without using any weight on your hands. So this is just going to be the smallest lift of the series here. It's basically what we just did, but our hands are underneath our shoulders. So you should be able to lift your hands and your position of your body is going to stay the same. All right, that's baby cobra. Release it down. And for anyone out there who doesn't know, it's always good to not eat before yoga. So a good 2 hours before yoga, it's recommended that you don't have any food. All right, so the next cobra that we're going to do, your hands come into the same position. Underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide. And now inhale, lift the chest up. This time you're going to be pressing into the hands. So your whole chest is going to come up higher. And press into the hands and draw your heart forward, just like we did in Sphinx pose. You're also, the weight is in the pubic bone area. And this way you're going to get a nice curvature of the spine. Keep your shoulder blades down and reach them together in the back of the body. Shoulder blades down and together in the back. So your neck is lengthened and your heart is reaching forward and your shoulders are down. Good. And now release all the way down. Turn your head to one side, make a pillow with your hands, and just rock out the hips. And then the last cobra we're going to do is where you take your legs wide on the mat. So they'll come to the edges of the width of the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders in the same position, fingers wide. And then inhale, lift. And now with your legs apart, you're going to have a little bit more room there. So there's weight on your hands, but you don't want to straighten and lock your arms. Keep the elbows bent because we're still working with the strength of our back on developing that. So if we were just to straighten our arms like that and hold ourselves up with our arms, then that takes any pressure off the muscles of the back. And that's where we're developing. So now try that. Try just straightening and locking the arms, see what happens to the body. And now bend. And you'll see as soon as you bend those elbows, the pressure comes back to the back to hold yourself up. And that's what you want, because that's what we're cultivating, is the strength in the back. If you want to bend the knees and reach your head towards your pointed toes. Oh my God, when I was a little girl, this was so easy. I don't even come close anymore. I used to be able to touch my toes to my chin doing this when I was about 10. And now, 45 years later, 44 years later, it's a different story. But that's okay. And then go ahead and release all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the other side and rock out the hips. Good. All right. Hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. We're going to come up and back into downward dog right from here. Inhale up. Take it up and back and begin to pedal through the feet, pressing into and away from the hands and reaching one heel down and then the other. So that was a lot of lower back work. And sink both heels down. Now let's just walk the feet up toward our hands so we can come into standing forward fold. Feet are hip width apart. Bend the knees so your belly rests on your thighs. And then grab onto opposite elbows. Just let your torso hang. You might want to wriggle your spine a little bit. And that's going to release that low back here for us. And if you want to just shake your neck out. Good. And then come all the way up to stand. So your knees are bent, slowly coming all the way up, one vertebra at a time. All right, good. Come to the very top of the mat. Just gonna adjust the camera here. And we'll do a couple of standing poses this morning. All right, top of the mat. Coming into mountain pose, feet hip width apart. Let's bring the palms to the heart and press into the feet. Feel the strength in your legs, lift through the heart so that you can feel your whole body strong in mountain. That's why the pose is called mountain, because as we're standing here with our feet rooted to the earth, we're immovable, right? We're planted, we're grounded, we're strong, we're sturdy, from the feet right up to the top of the head. Palms at the heart. Let's do a prayer, sun salutation. Inhale, reach up, slight back bend. And now exhale, forward fold. All the way down, drawing the crown toward the mat. Inhale, step the right foot back into low lunge. Hold the breath, come into plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Knocking stuff off the walls. Exhale, palms to the heart. Other side, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, low lunge. Hold the breath, come into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Low lunge. Exhale, right foot forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale, arms up, come up. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. And let's step the right foot back into lunge. And then from here, plant that right hand underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up for a twist. Gaze turns up towards the left palm. If you want to have the back knee drop, that's an option. Otherwise, it's lifted. As we build our strength over time, some of these poses will become easier. And the key is repetition and practice. Nice, long, deep breaths. Good. And then release that back knee down. Release the left arm. And I do want to drop into lizard. So walk the left foot over to the left. And then left arm comes to the inside of the left leg. And we drop down onto our forearms or wherever you're working. You can be up here on your palms. Just opening the area in the groin. Breathe into it. Nice, slow, deep breaths as you take your awareness to the parts of your body that are resisting this. So this feels really open and good. Okay, coming back up onto the forearms. Walk that left foot back in a little bit. And now we're going to ground the back foot down at an angle. Coming up to warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. So the right foot is planted in the back at an angle, but it's lining up with your right hip bone. And the left foot is directly forward, lining up with your left hip bone. So there's a gap. So the feet are lining up with the hip bones. They're not directly behind each other, which is different than warrior two. So warrior one, we've come up and we square our shoulders and our hips forward on the mat. And you're drawing that right hip forward, right? So you want your hips to be even though your right leg is back. Reach through that back leg and then raise the arms up as you sink into the front leg. And then pay attention to what's going on in the back foot. You're going to feel the stretch right down from the big toe. But you want to sort of reach your outside edge of the right foot down for the mat. And as you're doing that, you're lengthening through that right leg, hips and shoulders squared front, and now lift the heart and spine, and arms are straight up. Good, and now straighten through that front leg. So we have a pretty long stance here. Let's shorten it a little bit by pulling that back foot in. The feet are in the same position, it's just a shorter stance. So this is our pyramid pose. And from here, plant the feet, press into the feet, so you have a nice base. And then we're going to lengthen the torso out over this left leg. Hands come down. It's a good idea to have blocks right here, okay? So block on either side. It can be high side, and that supports your hands in this pose. Focus on your shoulders and hips being even, and the length of the spine out over. You're going to feel the stretch right up through the back hamstring as you breathe. Good, and now press into the feet, come all the way up. We're going to do a balancing pose now. So shift your weight onto the left leg. The right leg will still be like your step behind, but now your entire weight is on your left leg. Bring your palms together at your heart center. And we're going to begin to, now I'll teach you how you can do this assisted, but I want to show you the pose first. So you balance on the left leg. As your torso comes parallel to the floor, your right leg also comes parallel to the floor with the right hip staying down. Now you can do this by using a wall with your hands against the wall, just like this. That way, you've got something to hold on to until you get your spine and your leg into position. And you can just work with it right there, okay? And you're balancing on the left leg. So if you're working off the wall, then your palms are at your heart. And you're just gonna hold the pose once you get into it. And now drop the hands down, and we're going to take the right leg behind the left leg for scissors pose. So now you're balancing on both feet and you're drawing your nose towards your knee. Deep breath. Okay, so that was scissors pose. Now bring the right leg out so that your feet are hip width apart. Bend through both knees and come all the way up. So that was warrior 3 that we did. And now we're going to do the whole series on the other side. Okay, step to the top of the mat. Palms at the heart. Mountain pose, nice strong body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot steps back into low lunge. And here you can drop that left knee down or keep it lifted. Plant the left hand underneath the left shoulder and right arm reaches up. Breathe. Good. Lower the right arm down and drop the left knee down and then walk that right foot out to the edge of the mat for lizard pose. Uncurl the left toes and drop into wherever you are. Perhaps you're on one forearm or you're on both or you're up on your hands. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you're getting the stretch into the groin area, the hip, and breathing into that place that's resisting. And you'll find that when you do cleanses for your body, everything is a lot more open and easier to access. So I recently did a liver gallbladder cleanse, and it really helped my body a lot. It's like cleaning out your carburetor of your car. So just breathing into that, a couple more breaths here. And now plant your hands, press up, and let's walk that right foot back in so it lines up with the hip. Right arm is on the outside of the right leg. Setting ourselves up for warrior 1. Plant the back foot down at an angle so that it lines up with the left hip bone. Right foot is forward. Toes are pointing forward. And then when you're ready, come up into position. Square the hips and shoulders to the front of the mat. Reach through this back leg and grab the mat with the outside edge of the foot. Arms come up, heart lifts, sink into that front knee. And everything in the upper body is lifted. Head, neck, shoulders, chest. As we stabilize the base. That's warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Release the arms down. And let's shorten our stance by pulling the back foot in. Same feet, same legs, just shorter. Square the hips and shoulders to the front. We're in our pyramid pose here. And now press into the feet and then lengthen the torso out over. And your hands will come down to blocks here. If you can reach the mat with your hands, that's fine. Otherwise, the blocks are supporting you, and continue to press into the feet as you lengthen out over the right leg. Breathe into the back of the leg. Good. And now we're going to come out of this pose. So bend the right knee and press back up. And we're preparing for our Virabhadrasana or Warrior 3. So weight shifts onto the right leg. Remember, you can use a wall to support you with your hands and arms directly on the wall. And then you're going to lengthen the body out. So balancing on this right leg, palms at the heart. Go ahead and begin to shift the torso. Becomes parallel to the floor, leg is extended up, and drop the left hip down so it stays even, sucking in the navel and lengthening through the crown. This is not really a beginner's pose, so if you need that wall, please use it. It'll help you. Nice deep breaths as you stay lifted. Good. And now release your hands down to blocks of the mat and scissors pose. Take the left leg behind the right, outside edges of the feet touching. Now you're standing on both feet and you're drawing your crown down toward the earth. Deep breaths into the belly. Good. Bring the left foot out, hip width apart, and let's go ahead and bend the knees and come all the way down onto our seat. All the way down onto our backs. So you can bring both feet out in front and slowly lower down onto your back. And let's hug our knees into our chest here and just rock a little bit side to side. All right. From here, let's hug our knees and roll back and forth along the mat. Okay, coming up, crossing at the ankles, planting the hands, and we're coming all the way back down onto our bellies. So we've done a few more poses since we've been on our bellies. And now we're going to do bow pose. Bow pose. Bend through both knees and reach your hands back to grab both ankles. All right. So our shoulders are open. And from here, go ahead and inhale, lift everything up. Press the ankles away from the hands, and that's going to open the shoulders even more. And lift it in the chest. The eyes are off the mat. And then go ahead and release. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one side. And just rock your hips out. And from here, let's just roll over onto our backs as gracefully as possible. All right, here we are. Quarter after. Let's do a bridge pose. Feet come underneath your knees, hip width apart, arms down alongside the body. Lift your shoulders up and walk them down the mat. Lift and walk down. Lift and walk down. As you do that, you'll feel that beautiful lengthening in the neck area. See how long your neck is now that you've walked your shoulders down? So you should be able to feel your feet with your fingertips here. And when you're ready, you're gonna lift the hips up. And now take the shoulders underneath you, still lengthening through the neck. And then if you have the flexibility, interlace the hands underneath you, underneath the back, the fingers. Press into the feet and reach your sternum for your chin. The thoracic area of the spine is being brought into a vertical position here. Breathe. Good. Release the shoulders. Come all the way down onto your back. And let's just turn our head from side to side. Good. Lengthen the legs out for fish pose, Matsyasana. Hands come halfway underneath your seat. Nice long legs, toes are pointed. And then when you're ready, we're gonna lift the chest up first. That brings us up to our forearms with our elbows and our tailbone as a base support for this pose. So the elbows and the tailbone create a tripod. And now the chest opens and draw the head back. Top of the crown onto the mat. Legs pointed, toes pointed. Breathe. Just imagine that you're breathing through your heart here. Good. One more breath. And then lift your head, come all the way down onto your back, completely letting go. Hug the right knee into the chest. Right arm comes out to the side, palm facing down. Guide the knee across the body for a twist. Good. Bring the right knee back to the center, and then right leg comes down. Hug the left knee in. Left arm out to the side, palm facing down. Guide the knee across to the right of the body. And keep that left shoulder down. So this really twists the whole spine, right from the tailbone up to cervical neck region, up to the axis point of where your head meets your spine. Breathe into your twist. Excellent. And now come back onto your back, and we'll make our way into final Shavasana, final resting pose. Both legs and arms out wide, palms facing up. Walk your shoulders down on the mat, just like you did for bridge pose. And then reach the tailbone up. so that you're adjusting the sacrum. And that will give you a nice set for your bones to lie in Shavasana. Any final little movements that you want to make here until you come back into silence, allowing the body in its infinite wisdom and intelligence to integrate all of the movement that we have done in this class this morning. Just let your body settle. Let your mind settle. And now visualize a single point between your eyebrows. Visualize one single source point, like a tiny seed, and fixate on it without straining your mind. Just focus on this point. And this point that we're focusing on is the source point of the entire universe, multiverse. It is the point where all of creation flows from. And just continue to attune to it. And as you do, feel the energy of source flowing like a river, like a beautiful, gushing, abundant river. Right into the top of your head. So that you become one with this river of energy that is spouting forth from the very source of all of creation. Let it fill you and flow through you. As you stay relaxed and open. Now just visualize that river of energy flowing through you right from the mouth of the goddess. Right through your body, out through your feet, down into the earth. and know that you are always taken care of. You are always supported. And you are made up of this same creation energy. You are loved. Cared for. You are precious and valuable. Just feel that goddess energy holding you. And filling your body and your entire energy field with that creative Shakti energy. And then go ahead and reach your arms long on the mat, stretching through your whole body, all the way down through your torso and your legs and toes. And then bend through both knees, rolling onto one side and pressing up into a seated cross-legged position where we began. And bring your palms together at your heart in prayer position. We will close the class with one Om, breathing in together. No. I bow to this magnificent and beautiful light inside of you that is also inside of me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful light-filled day, and reminding you that you are a warrior of the light. You are strong, and you can enjoy your life knowing that you're cared for and loved. So my name is Beth Wright, and my company is Spirit Works, and you can find me at energyhealingteacher.com. I offer a lot of different classes and courses, and you can also find me on Spirit Works, Beth Wright on Facebook. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.